What's up, guys? It's Wolfgang back with another Dorkfish Collection review, and today we are reviewing the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Son Goku The Games Begin Edition. Guys, let's get into it. Alright, and anyone who knows me knows I absolutely love Dragon Ball Z. It is my favorite anime. Dragon Ball in particular actually is my favorite anime, but Dragon Ball Z, that whole series. Goku is one of my favorite characters. I have owned most of the SH Figuarts Gokus, and I am going to say on the riff, this one is my favorite. They did an amazing job with it, so much so that I can't wait for this coming year. They have Vegeta, Trunks, and maybe Piccolo in this version. Now, it is advertised as having the dynamic movable shoulder system. That means that it has been altered so that the internal skeleton articulates better in this figure than your normal SH Figuarts. And I have to say, overall, they changed a lot of the articulation on it. They introduced a new system with this figure. We will see today if it's any good. But before that, let's get into the box and accessories. Alright, and here's the box, and you have on the front the name of the figure, the name of the company, the dynamic sticker, and all of the seals of approval, as well as Goku on the front. On this side, you'll get reiteration of the name of the figure. On the back, you get some poses. And then on this side, you get a continuation of that front tag. And that's it. That's all there is to the box. So now let's check out the accessories. And for accessories, this figure comes with 4 faceplates, 2 heads, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of hands. No blast effects or anything like that. Something that I wish they would do. But what he does come with is pretty good. What you see on him is standard in package already. His standard Super Saiyan hair, the smirking face, and the fisted hands. Bring that in just so you can see that face. And they did a really good job with that. Now, let's check out the other head, because it's 2 head sculpts. And the head sculpts themselves are pegged in heads that you put the faceplates on. It's just different hair, so you'll notice next to each other the difference in the hair there. This is more of a swooping hair effect for ki blast effects or whipping wind effects or moving in air, flying effects. For the faceplates, obviously you see the smiling one on him. Then you have the screaming faceplate. Very well done. You have the more neutral faceplate. And you have the gritting teeth faceplate with that side stare. I would say all the faces are very well done. Good array of faces. You get, for both hands, you get an instant transmission hand. You get that left and right. On your left and right side, you get this kind of pose stylized hand. Clenched with 2 fingers, 2 exposed. You get this more gripping style hand here. Get it out of the tray for you. And I think it's very beautifully sculpted. And you get more of the ki blast hand here. And all the hands are beautifully sculpted. Everything is well painted. I like the wash in the hair. They did a good job with those accessories. But that is all he comes with. That being said, I would love for him to come with like a small blue light, because he can do the Kamehameha Wave pose, which is awesome. I'll show that off in a bit. But I wish he would have came with accessories for that, or electricity effects for when he powers up. There's all sorts of different things they could do. Maybe they'll do an accessory pack for him. They've done a Goku one in the past for the base form Son Goku. So hopefully we get an accessory pack for this figure. Now, moving along, let's look at aesthetics. And aesthetically speaking, I think this figure is fantastic. He looks great. He's shaded in the hair and in the clothes. There is some shading in the skin and then across the face as well. The back. Not so much shading across the back. They could probably use a little more like in the belt and on the wrists. But he looks pretty dang good. I like the sculpt a lot. I think they did a really good job with the way he looks and with hiding some of the articulation because it's changed. There's going to be some areas where it's going to look a little ugly depending on the pose. That is what it is. But otherwise, I think he looks pretty dang good. So aesthetically, I'm fairly happy with him. There were some things that when I first saw him coming out, like the way that these hips set here, I was concerned with it being a malleable piece that flips up or catches. It actually works perfectly into the joint. Doesn't flip up, catch, or chew at all. So very happy with that. So yeah, overall, I think aesthetically it's a very pleasing figure. They did a really good job with him. So now let's move into articulation. So for articulation, his neck is on a standard pin and hinge. So it can move up about that far, down that far without the neck, and even further with the neck, but not really back with the neck. You get your regular attitude, movement is not a problem, and then we get into the shoulders. Now, this top piece is pliable rubber because of the way the shoulders are done. You've got extra hinges in there to butterfly out. It looks ugly, but it gives you better range. For instance, his shoulders can go up pretty far. He can rotate pretty easily. It rotates the blue and the orange. They're two separate floating pieces, so I'll have to fix that. It is the one catch there. I'll do the rest of this on this arm. You've got your bicep swivel. No problem. A little tight. Double jointed elbows. Don't look the worst. Regular pin and hinge wrist, so rotates just fine. Boom. And then you've got your torso, which is a ball joint, and it moves really good. You can look down that far, you can move them back. You've got some gapping, but you can move them back about that far, side to side, no problem. Let me fix this arm, and then I'll show you the legs. Sorry about that, I'm back. So for the legs, he can kick up pretty good. For the splits, this one's a little tighter joint, but boom, not bad. Of course, that is an actual thigh cut, so you can turn there. The knee is single joint. It is not a double joint knee anymore, but it looks pretty good. I don't hate it, and it moves pretty well. Now, something that's an interesting thing they did. Whoops. These fall off a lot. I'll show that in a minute. Something interesting they did was they added a swivel piece in here. I'm not sure that I fully like it because it creates this gap in there. And I don't think it serves a lot of purpose, so I'm not certain why they did it with there. You can't really turn it. So yeah, I'm not fond of that. But you've got your ankle now. So ankle can go down that far. Ankle can only go about that far. I guess that's supposed to make up for the ankle pivot. I don't know. There is your ankle pivot. And then your toe joint. And that is all for articulation on this guy. And as promised, there he is prepping for the Kamehameha wave. You can get him in that pose. The hands look nice in there, so you can definitely get that position. A few things to note. The hands and head are hard to pop off. So getting the hands on and off and getting that other head sculpt on and off is a pain, so be careful with that. The other thing that is an annoyance on this is the way the hair is done. Because there's that gap up top, it's so easy to just pop it off on accident. So you really have to be careful when you're adjusting the head, how you're adjusting it, to make sure you don't pop the hair or the faceplate off. So those are a couple of complaints. Again, I'm not really certain why they did the boots the way they did, because I haven't used it in any way that I felt made it necessary. So I think it's an unnecessary cut. But the rest of everything else I think is really good. I mean, even here, the way you see that the legs move, it lines up nicely. The coloration's good. So they did a really good job of working with new joints and sculpts, and most of it making it make sense. And I think they nailed it. So that being said, I do like the figure overall in articulation in terms of looks. Could have a few more accessories. And there's a few things I'm puzzled by, a few little things that are not the best. But overall, I think that they nailed it. I think it's a really good figure. Now, all that being said, let's move on to scale. So here we have Goku next to the Beast Deities Broly and the Marvel Legends Hulk. And I really like the scale between them. I know Beast Deities made a huge Broly, but I do think it fits. I'm okay with this giant monster of a Saiyan next to him. I think it looks pretty cool. Would I be okay if it was more in the sizing of the Hulk? Yes. But overall, I think they look great next to each other. And here we have Goku next to the Super 7 Ultimate TMNT 2003 Leonardo, as well as a DC Classics Superman. Alright, and in closing thoughts, I think that they did a really good job with this figure. I like the assortment of hands, I like the assortment of faces, I like the interchangeable hair. They're a little tough to get in and out. I like the idea that they did floating soft pieces like the blue belt and the top, the orange top, to make the articulation better. I think that they nailed a lot of different things. I'm really happy with the single jointed knee. It moves great and looks fantastic on camera. Overall, there's only a few small things. The hair falling off pretty easy to lose the faceplate. The cut in the boot, I don't understand. I didn't get anything from it. And then maybe a little more paint here and there and a few more accessories. Otherwise, I do think this is worth getting. So I would suggest, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, check this out. That being said, guys, I am going to bring this review to an end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like, share, subscribe, comment down below your favorite Dragon Ball Z character. And I'll catch you in the next review. Later, guys. Wolfgang's out.